Mice? What is it? Mice? Do your job! It's evening time and I'm running the generator. But I had to show you this. It's crazy. This is the inside of the windshield. That's just random frost lines. I literally thought my windshield was cracked. I was like, what is going on here? But there's just all these little frost lines everywhere. This is the inside. That's crazy. A typical day off breakfast meal for me. We got egg, bacon, cheese breakfast sandwich, and an herbal tea. I actually just started drinking tea, herbal tea, fruity type herbal tea, the flavorful stuff. About a year ago, I had a laparoscopic surgery and started drinking peppermint tea. If you know, you know. Peppermint tea. Anyway, after that, I didn't like it actually at first. I didn't like peppermint tea, but it was helpful, if you know what I'm saying. So then I started experimenting with other herbal teas, other flavors. I've only tried 5 so far, but my favorite is raspberry pomegranate. This is raspberry lemon. I know there are lots of coffee drinkers out there, but if you're a tea drinker, an herbal tea drinker, fruity herbal tea drinker, let me know some flavors to try, and hopefully I can find them somewhere nearby. Yeah, I enjoy it now. Never thought I'd be a tea drinker. Never in my wildest dreams thought I would be a tea drinker, but here we are. I feel very mature now. Never been a coffee drinker. Never, ever, ever. I don't know. It's just one of those things. I've tried it, like taking a sip, didn't like it. Some people ask, well, how do you wake up in the mornings if you don't drink coffee? Oh, by the way, my herbal tea is non-caffeinated, just so you know. But it's one of those things, you know, you can't miss what you've never had. So I don't rely on coffee because I've never made myself rely on coffee. Beautiful, mild day. Rainy, but at this point I'm just grateful that it's not below freezing. Yeah. I will take the rain to ditch the freezing. It's plus 3 degrees today. It was supposed to be plus 5, but anyway, 3 is better than minus 3, that's for sure. Today the plan is to take the box van. I know I call it a box truck. It's technically a box van. It's just habit. So today my plan is to take Boxy Roxy to the Windshield place. Many months ago when it was spring, when it was before all of this. I pulled the rubber mat off of the floor, discovered that underneath that the acoustic woolly stuff was soaked and there was a lot of rust. So it just basically stayed soaked and sat on my floor and rotted my floor out. So I did have to get body work done several months ago. Part of the floor on the driver's side all replaced, the stepwell replaced, the rockers replaced, and the cab corners repaired. Now that that's all been done, I do still notice that the little channels in the stepwell will sometimes fill with some water. I kind of just stuck a puppy pee pad in there to sop it up for now. And I don't know where it's coming from. A lot of you seem to think the windshield, so I thought, okay, well, I'll call a windshield place and see if they can, you know, better seal it or look into it. Again, I still don't know for sure, but we kind of have to assume that where the water was in there, or the damage was in there, that it could have been the windshield. So I called this place, this local place, and, you know, just kind of described what was going on. And I thought I could just get it resealed, but they let me know that they would actually have to remove the windshield and like reset it and all of that. They also let me know that there was a risk that came with it. And that risk is your windshield might break. Okay, Now, I don't like to say that I'm a pessimist, but I'm a realist, right? I expect the worst, but I hope for the best. And in doing that, you get less disappointed when the worst happens. If it's a positive outcome, you get pleasantly surprised. Okay, well, just put the wipers down now that it's raining and getting rid of our snow. Bye! So long. Yeah, a little dirty in here, but this was once all rust. This is a puppy pee pad that's soaking up any water that sits in here. But I'm already starting to get like little surface rust stuff since it's been fixed from the moisture that's been, well, sitting there. So that's something that, obviously that's not too bad. That can be cleaned up in the spring. But my point of today is to try and just reset this, reseal it, and hope that that is where the leak is coming from, and hope that that takes care of it. Let me just get ready here and head to the windshield place. Cross your fingers for me that the windshield's not gonna break. I just opened the Patio door back up. Obviously I close it on cold days because of this. I'm just flailing in the wind here, but Rory's enjoying being able to go out and sit in the patio and sniff the fresh air today at least. I think we have mild temperatures, and when I say mild, I mean above freezing temperatures for the next week. That'll be nice, little more relaxing. I don't mind when it's above freezing. It's when it's below freezing that it's just, that's my least favorite. Are you enjoying it out there? Yeah? Alright, you take it all in, because in about a week's time it's going to be freezing again and this will be locked up, alright? You enjoy it. Okay. You see this? I opened up my door and this is filling up from somewhere. Now, this really makes me think this might not be the windshield. This is the type of stuff. Like, I feel like it's coming in from here. I really hope this isn't going to be a waste of time and money, because from what I could see, it really didn't look like that water was coming from the windshield. But, I don't know. I'll leave it up to the experts, I guess. I'm just wondering if you have a driver's door weather stripping rubber for a 2016 GMC Savannah.
What, a 16 Savannah?
Yeah. Yeah, it's the one that goes the whole way around on the body. Yeah. Yeah.
All the body so yeah, I'll get that order for you, Jenna, and yeah, we'll give you all the order to come to the place tomorrow or the following day.
Okay, thank you so much.
Great, thank you.
All right, you too. Take care. Bye. I don't know what's going on. I went to the mall to pick up a couple things, and the power's out in the entire mall, and there's sirens everywhere. Okay, let's see if we can get this backed in to the spot where I had it before. There's my car, and there's the van. I'm getting right into my old spot here. There we go. Oh, where's my Starlink? I definitely don't want to hit that. Oh boy. It's over there somewhere. Let's just hope we're not hitting it. Alright, there's good. Perfect. Same spot I was. Kinda. It's icy. I'm back from my appointment. I had a glimmer of hope that spring is coming. Went to a store. Cadbury cream eggs are out now. I will say this, they make them smaller now. Shrink Nation, man. They're still as good as I remember, though. Oh my gosh. You know, there are some business owners out there who just want your business. They don't care about you as a customer, right? We see it a lot. We see it all the time. Then there are businesses who you can tell genuinely care about their customers. And the place that I went today, I can honestly say the business owner there cares about his customers. This guy came out of his shop in the pouring rain and stood there while I kind of explained everything that was happening. I told him where the water was coming in that I could see. We discussed everything. Then we went in the shop and he said, "I'm not convinced that your leak is coming from your windshield." And he proceeded to tell me that he really didn't want to risk taking the windshield out and possibly it breaking, because he said there's always the possibility that that can happen. He didn't want to see me go with a broken windshield that had to be replaced with a brand new one and put back on for possibly no reason. He also said typically with these windshields, you're either going to see the leak happening from the top along here, or he said you'll see a stream coming down underneath, like where your pedals and stuff are. I haven't seen water coming from there. I haven't seen it on the other side, but both of us really do feel like it is coming from the door. I called the Chevy dealership in town for ordering me like weather stripping for the door. And this business owner said, you know what, you can get weather stripping, bring it back in here, I'll put it on, and I'll also do a leak test. So he said, let's start simple, which I totally agree. Neither one of us think it's my windshield. I mean, the weather stripping seal thing, it is bad. I've got puppy pee pads down in here, but anyway. Yeah, that's where all my water's going. And at one point I thought maybe it was coming in around this corner, possibly coming from the windshield, but no, it's right there. This door has always been a problem for me. When I first got this truck, it wouldn't shut properly. When I got the bodywork done, he'd put a new pin in or whatever it needed, and a bushing or something, I don't know. Now the door shuts properly. But as I mentioned to the business owner, on my drive there, you know, I had the heat on in here, and I could feel a draft where the door is. It was drafty over here at this door, so I'm happy we are deciding to take this route and replace the rubber around the door first to see if that's the issue. Excited this is how the appointment went, because it could have went bad. I could have pulled the windshield off and it broke, and maybe it wasn't even the windshield that was leaking. So we're going to do the rubber stripping around the door first, because both of us kind of think that that's where the water's coming in. I don't want anyone to take this the wrong way, but I feel like so many people in the comments said that it was my windshield that it convinced me that it was my windshield. And I don't blame anybody for it. I mean, there's a very good reason why people probably assumed that it was the windshield, and it's because the floor under where my feet go was rusty and rotted. And now looking back, I think I know why that was. The rubber mat was actually worn through under where my feet go in the floor, probably from the FedEx drivers going in and out and whatnot. Now there was this wool acoustic stuff under that, so as you can imagine, the rubber being worn through and people coming in and out constantly with snow on their boots, wet shoes, whatever the case may be, that water's going to run right through where the mat is broken and bust it through and just sop into the woolly acoustic material under it. Had no way to dry. It was just sandwiched between the mat and the floor. So when I pulled it out in the spring, and it was still wet, that's probably why. It had no way to dry. It was just under there, soaked from the constant in and out, snowy, wet shoes. Basically the water got in there and had nowhere to go, so it just stayed soaked and rotted my floor in that spot. But that does also explain why the stepwell was rusted so bad that it ate right through, because that's where that bad leak was. It would have been happening under the plastic guard that sits in the stepwell. Anyway, we won't know until we know. We'll start with the weather stripping and see how it goes with the leak test when that's all done. And I know I could probably do the weather stripping myself, but this man was kind enough to let me leave there without getting anything done, and he lost business from me today. He could have made money off of me taking out my windshield and it breaking and replacing it with a new one. And he chose not to because he said, I just don't want it to cost you unnecessarily. Business owners that are like that are few and far between. So if you find a business where somebody is just honest, those are the good ones, you know? Okay, it's pouring outside. I'm at the back of the box truck just farting around, looking at stuff. Do you see that? That is a mosquito. It's January. It was just flying around like, what? Oh, there it goes. There it goes. I just lost him. I don't know where he went, but that mosquito is a survivor. Holy. Okay, since it's raining so hard right now, I'm just trying to show you guys. There's no water streaming in at all from up in there under the pedals and stuff. If you can see, it's dry under there, so. But now, you see all that? That's all water. Okay, so this is why I've got the puppy pee pads here, okay? It's coming in through the door, I'm pretty sure of it. We didn't have to end up getting a new windshield after all, Rory. You might not have to get a job. You might be able to be a freeloader forever. Just check the generator oil. Thought I'd have to change it too, but that doesn't look too dirty to me. That actually still looks pretty good, so I'm gonna leave it. Do need to add some though because it was kind of low. So I need to try to find some 5W30. It is winter, so that's gonna be better than 10. And what do I got? Oh, there's no label on this one. Oh yeah, 5W30. Perfect. What's this? 5W30. This one's got more taken out of it. Let's use that one. And yes, I've been using the cheap Quaker State oil for my generator, but I've had that thing for 7 years and it's still kicking, so can't be that bad, guys.
Okay, add a little here. I don't want to go overboard. Add a little more and I'm going to check it here in a second.
Okay. Oh yeah, we're good. We're almost too full. Don't want to overdo it, so yep. Well, dude, if you want to go out on the patio, go out on the patio. I opened it up for you. That's all. I don't think he realizes. I mean, it's open. See? It's open. There you go. You can use that door. You don't need to wait for me to open the window for you. There you go. Another nice mild day. You enjoy that. For some reason, Rory doesn't come down to the bottom part of the patio very much. He mostly sits up there, which is funny. But watch this. If I open the door down here. Whoa, the door's open. What are you gonna do? Yeah, now you come down because you think you can escape. Okay, come on back up again. Come on back up again. It's filthy. Everything's so soaked, I'll have to wait until a dry day to vacuum all that up. It's all pine needles. Pine needles and leaves and spider webs. A couple people asked recently if I still have the blue camper van. I do. It's sitting back here with a tarp on it for the winter months anyhow. I think I have the leak that's in the back corner here in the bathroom. I believe that is narrowed down to the tail light because this part of the doors is not covered and I don't seem to have any leak problems, but the tail light is covered and I noticed that the back wall and that corner is not wet. I go in here and check on things. Just sneak in under the tarp. Okay, light still comes on, so battery's not dead. But yeah, it's nice and dry in here. I think what I'm gonna do is just stick the key in and See if it'll fire up. Well, fired up. Hear that? It's trying to die. A little bit, I think. It's running. I'll probably leave it run for about 5 minutes and then shut it off. I just wanted to make sure that it would still start. I definitely need to do like a whole overhaul on this thing in the spring. I mentioned before some of the issues that it's having. Could be as simple as a vacuum leak. A lot of you seem to think that's what it is, and you might be right. But we'll find out in the spring, but for now it's just gonna sit here with the tarp on it. Just keep it nice and dry at least. All right. The old girl still lives. Last video I talked about a draft that I have coming through here. It's the slide out right there where you can see the outside. The rubber's just pulled away from the wall enough that it's causing some draft. Not too worrisome today, but on the cold days it kind of sucks. I'm gonna go ahead and fill that. I was gonna use a can of spray foam like I did the first time, but quite a few of you mentioned pool noodles and also pipe insulation, and that's what I got. We'll see if I can make something work with this. Should be able to. This stuff's pretty cheap too. It's actually cost me less than a can of spray foam, and well, we know how spray foam works. You get half of the can or whatever use out of it, and then you can't use it again. So we got as much of it out as I could. There's another little piece. Now I've got a mess, and see if I can shove some pipe insulation in there. Oh. I don't know if I'm going to need to use the whole thing, or... Well, it is not the best of lighting, and I am going to do up here too. I actually had spray foam all the way up there. Up there, you honestly can't see what you're doing up there, but all I can do is try. I did have to cut the pipe insulation in half to make it fit in here, but as you can see, there's no more gap, and that's the main thing. I used the same thing over here to fill the gap between the window and the plywood here for the diesel heater thing to come through. And it works quite well for there, so I can imagine it should work well over here as well. So I'm going to go ahead and try to get this top part done off camera. Should be interesting. Can't see what I'm doing. I'm just going to have to feel around and jam it down in there. Okay, the top part. You can kind of see it a little bit, but only because I'm holding the camera up. You know, when you walk in here, you can't really tell that there's pipe, well, maybe a little pipe insulation up here. We'll tuck it in a little bit better, and it should conceal it enough, but I'm also not worried about it. It's going to keep the draft out of here. Over here on this side, you never usually see because you're not over here, but again, I don't care what it looks like. There's no draft coming in, and that is the main thing. And there we go. It's all back to rights. One other small project finished. Still have some pipe insulation left. I am certain I will find a use for this at some point. That wouldn't have been the case if I had used a can of spray foam. Oh, the sun's coming out for the first time today, and it's well, close to supper, so it's not going to stick around long. I was really hoping that I would hear from the Chevy dealership today about the rubber, the door rubber. I didn't. They said it could take a day or two, so I'm assuming it's going to be in tomorrow. And tomorrow and for the next several days I'll be working, so there's not a whole lot I can do about that. I guess I'll just have to pick it up when I can, take the box truck, drop it off at the Windshield place when I can, and the guy can put it on, do the leak test, and I'll let you guys know how that goes. Maybe in the next video, depending on how soon this can all happen. Okay, I've got to clean up this mess that I made. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye. Well, isn't that something? The sun decides to come out, kind of, at the end of the day, right before it's just about to get dark. I miss you! I miss you! Someday spring will return, right?